Awesome. So in order to start our class today, we're first going to open up whatever web browser we want to utilize. Now, typically, KWRI actually specifies that Google Chrome is the best web browser to use. All right, so at the end of the day, if you want to actually pull up Google Chrome, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, I'm using Firefox. Those are kind of my two go-to at the end of the day. All right, but we're going to go to agent.kdb.com, and that's how we can actually sign in to our KDB command platform. All right, so agent.kdb.com. Now, when we're on agent.kdb.com, just to give you a heads up, you'll just need to sign in with your username and your password for MyKW. All right, so this is going to be the exact same at the end of the day. All right, so whatever you use to get into mykw.kdb.com, it's going to be the exact same that you'll use to get into agent.kdb.com for your KDB command account. All right, so hopefully in the near future, it'll just kind of auto-sync together so you don't have to worry about going to two different locations. All right, but for the time being, we're going to go to agent.kdb.com. All right, so I'm going to sign in with my account real quick. I'm going to sign in with my proper information for my account real quick. There we go. Gotta love typing too quickly. All right. So once we actually sign in, then this is what our home page is going to look like. All right, so if this pops up, just go ahead and accept the cookies. We're all good to go. All right, and then at the very top, this has actually been up here for, a couple months now, actually, ever since Family Reunion. All right, so you can just X out of this as well. It's basically just alerting you that they're constantly making changes on here. All right, so this is what our home page of KDB Command is going to look like. It's kind of our dashboard, basically. All right, so this is going to show all the different options of what you currently have available. All right, whether it is your current database or your contacts on here. All right, so this is kind of like your new CRM in theory, where you can actually add inside your contacts. You can add in tasks that you'll need to. You can have your timeline on there. You can set up neighborhood URLs that we'll show you about in a second. All right, in addition to that, once you have the contacts set up, you can also add inside opportunities. All right, so this is basically a lead to close transaction. All right, so at the end of the day, whenever you first add inside a contact inside your contact section, all right, then you can actually add them to a buyer, seller, or lease opportunity. All right, and it'll allow you to kind of keep them up to date through the entire transaction pipeline, whether they're just a brand new lead, whether they're actually under contract, whether they just sold their home, all right, whatever it might be. All right, you'll also have groups on here. You can actually create groups or you can view other KW groups that are available via KW Connect. All right, so this is just another way similar to Facebook groups, for instance, just to kind of stay up to date with other people. All right, it's fantastic. If you have a team, you can make your own little group on here. All right, then you'll have the Lead Accelerator. This is for all of your digital marketing and even print marketing options. All right, so this will help out tremendously if you're utilizing, say for instance, Facebook ads, or if you're utilizing Google AdWords, all right, or if you want to actually schedule out posts on different channels like Facebook or Twitter. All right, so this will help out with your digital marketing aspect. All right, you'll also have local insights. You guys may be a little bit, in the know about this because this has actually been available over on Kelly for quite some time. All right, so for the local insights section, you can actually add inside different areas of insights around, where you're currently located, different places where you may have sold homes. All right, just kind of helpful items. So once the new app launches, all right, then this will actually sync up with these little local insights, kind of like Yelp or like Google Maps, basically, where it has different locations of the businesses. All right, but in addition to that, whenever you're actually creating landing pages or you're sending out different neighborhood options, you can actually specify local insights you want to display too. All right, there is the referral section. You guys are probably very well immersed in this if you guys have actually seen the referral section on KDB Connect that's been going on for a little bit over a year now. All right, so that's all under KDB Command now. All right, and then of course you also happen to have your settings. We're going to take a look at that next, how you can actually go through and customize your Keller Cloud experience. All right, and more importantly, how you can actually auto-populate some of your different marketing pieces under here. All right, Sketchhouse is where you can actually go through and completely create different marketing pieces. So if you ever utilized Canva before, if you ever used MailChimp, Constant Contact, all right, it's going to be very similar. All right, there's going to be an HTML editor if you want to utilize HTML, or you can literally drag and drop different items over too, so that way you can utilize everything. All right, smart plans are not officially available quite yet. There is a neighborhood smart plan that's available for you guys right now, though. All right, but hopefully smart plans will launch very, very soon for everybody. And this is a way, as you can see, to automate your business. All right, it's going to help out. It's going to utilize AI software to know exactly what you should do at what time for what contact. All right, so once this officially launches, that'll be a game changer for you guys to help out tremendously. All right, then you also happen to have listings. They are calling this the KDBLS 2.0. All All right, so the KWLS 2.0 on here is basically another way where you can just view all of your KWLS listings. All right, so at the end of the day, it's no different than that. All right, so you can still go over to the KWLS on mykw.kw.com, all right, or you can access them on here too. Now, this is still in beta right now, so if your information is not on there quite yet, all right, it should be coming up very, very soon. All right, you can also create landing pages now for free. That's the good part about it. All right, so as you can see, create multi-channel marketing campaigns across both digital and physical media. All right, so in this case, you're actually able to go through and create different landing pages for listings if you want to. You can create different buyer or seller landing pages, neighborhood landing pages. All right, there are a bunch of different options that you'll be able to utilize on here. All right, you can also view reports on here as well. All right, so this will just give you an overview of contacts that you may have imported. It'll give you an overview very soon of your GCI. Or GCI, yes, I always get GCI and CGI backwards. All right, so of your GCI, it'll also give you opportunity reports on there too. And if you're on a team, it'll give you some team reports as well. And then, of course, the final big item is you also happen to have email campaigns. Now, in order for the email campaigns to function, you will need a MailChimp account. All right, so if you don't have a MailChimp account, just make sure you go to mailchimp.com/signup, and I'll add that over inside our chat section on here so you guys can have that saved up here. So mailchimp.com/signup, and that'll allow you to sign up immediately. All right, now outside of just these 13 items we're currently seeing on here, obviously below that we can see some items that are coming soon for us too, and what we might be able to utilize on here. All right, there's also a support section too. All right, so this is just kind of like a little chat bot basically. So it works as a chat bot, and now if you take a look at it right now, all right, then you can also leave a message for KW support, all right, or during their normal operating hours. At this time, they're currently on lunch, all right, but in about an hour from now, this will actually say that you can chat with support as well if you want live chat. All right, but you can actually come through here and search for pretty much anything you might be looking for at the end of the day. All right, and then of course outside of that, there's also a chat section down here too, where you can actually go through and view all of your conversations. Whether it's with people that are currently inside your referral network, you can ask Kelly questions on here too. You can view your team as well if you happen to be on a team and you want to chat back and forth with them. All right, so very similar to Slack, for instance, at the end of the day, where you can just kind of chat with your own, team members or other people. All right, and then of course, if there's something that you don't see on KW Command that you really want, all right, they are always looking for ideas. Just click on the lab icon at the bottom right down here, and you can actually submit an idea immediately. All right. So outside of that, if I scroll back up here real quick, if you notice we have our current command option, and that is kind of highlighted blue. It might be a little bit hard to see on your screen, but that's a bluish color on here. And then you also happen to have Connect. All right, so Connect is going to sync up with KW Connect, obviously. There we go. All right, so I just wanted to see what this will look like. All right, so on the home page, you can actually just view like your overview of KW Connect. You can view all your groups that you're currently a part of. All right, you can actually post out different items that you want to share. You can access kwconnect.com. All right, you can view any inbound invites over here. All right, in addition to that, we can also go through, see any pending requests or any invites that are sent as well. All right, in addition to that, over here on the left-hand side, we can obviously see our dashboard. We can view our groups as well, and very soon we'll be able to view our calendar and then even resources for KW Connect too. All right, so I'm going to go back to Command real quick though. All right, now the main thing I suggest taking a look at though is at the very top right up here. At the very top right, you'll have your name. And before you start anything inside KW Command, all right, I always suggest taking a look at this section on here. Because once you click on your name, there's an option to view what your profile will look like, and that's your KW Connect profile. All right, but then there's also a section on here for settings. All right, so I'm going to go and click on that settings option, because this is where you can update a bunch of information to actually auto-populate on your marketing pieces. So if you've not done so already, this is a great place to start, because once you add this in, it'll auto-populate for you. So you're working smarter, not harder. Here we go. All right, so once we do that, then all of our information will pop up on here. Now, the first thing we're actually seeing on this page, all right, this is actually going to be all of our connected applications that are linked up with KW Command. All right, so at the end of the day, some additional CRMs are linked up on here, some additional calendar options. All right, so this is all available for you guys to utilize. All right, so all you'd actually have to do, much like you can see over here that I have a couple of them synced up, All right, just scroll down to whichever one you actually want to link. All right, so if I wanted to link up eEdge, for instance, I can click on the Connect Account option. All right, and then on here, it'll basically say what's your legal name, what's your legal last name. This will automatically populate, and then I can actually specify which market center, if you're part of multiple market centers, to link up. All right, then once I click on Synchronize Your eEdge, all right, that'll fix up immediately. See if that's the proper one to sync up. There we go. All right, and then it'll automatically add that over right away. All right, and you can do that for a bunch of different items on here. So as you can see, I've got mine synced up for Twitter as well, just to post out. I've got it synced up with Gmail on here. I have it synced up as well with Facebook for the ads, and for MailChimp that I just talked about too. All right, so a bunch of different options. Now there is also an option down here for Twilio. All right, Twilio is for text messaging, all right, SMS messaging. So at the end of the day, if you want to utilize Twilio on here, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, Twilio will basically allow you to send out text messages from KDB Command. All right, and don't quote me on this, but from what we've read, and I don't know if there's ever going to be a discount for KDB agents or anything, but it is a pay-per-use service, and from what we've read, it looks like it's 1 cent per text message. All right, and that's 1 cent for sent. All right, 1 cent for sending, that's kind of hard to say, and then 1 cent for receiving as well. So if I send out 200 text messages, it would be $2. All right, or if I receive 200 text messages, it would be $2 as well. All right, and then of course you also happen to have PySync on here too. Now this is where you can actually sync up a bunch of different transactions at the end of the day. Or sorry, not transactions, applications. We'll get to the transaction section later. All right, so on here you can actually go through and sync up, Brivity. There's a bunch of different options on here. I'm trying to think at the top of my head, so I'm just going to click Connect Account so I don't forget all of them. But since there are 150 on here, there's a good amount you can choose from. All right, now the first sync that you do is completely free. All right, and any sync outside of that is going to be 50% off. All right, and in this case, unlike most retail stores, all right, where they say, all right, you know, it's buy one, get one 50% off. All right, and then obviously if I buy something for 10, I buy something for 9, the $9 one is 50% off. All right, well, with PySync, it's actually the other way around. All right, so if you happen to utilize multiple options on here, then your highest sync is free. All right, so however many contacts you have in that high sync, that one is free, and then the other one, the lower sync, all right, so the lower amount of contacts, would be the 50% off option. Now, some of these, if you notice, like Google Contacts, Outlook on here, all right, those are actually included for free that we saw on the back end, all right, but you can actually go through any of these to actually sync up even further if you happen to have another CRM that you're utilizing right now. All right, so this is just a way to make transferring your CRM or your contacts over to Command a little bit simpler. All right, now outside of that, you also have your database section over here, or database, however you want to pronounce it. All right, so on here, you can actually view all of your archived contacts or opportunities, all right, or even your lead archives, and you can even wipe your database completely. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on here. You can actually wipe out your database completely. All right, so at the end of the day, if you want to just start from scratch, this is the best way to go about it. Now, one thing to note, I just want to give you a heads up on this. All right, so one thing to note. For the archive section, whenever you actually go through to delete a contact, you can't delete them immediately. All right, it's kind of a two-step deletion process. All right, you have to archive the contact first, and then you can actually delete them on here. All right, so if I clicked on Contact Archive, I don't think I have any back here, so I should have set it up just to show it. But then you'd actually be able to go through and delete any of these right away. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up. So it's a two-step process, just to ensure that you are, positive you want to actually delete everything. All right, now below that, you also have your opportunity settings. All right, this is just currently for your offers on the opportunities. So if you want to put inside a nice fancy looking sketch house piece for your opportunities, all right, you're definitely more than welcome to, so you can kind of make your offer stand out. All right, in addition to that, we also have our custom fields. So if there are any custom fields you want to add over to your database, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, so obviously KW knows that every database is completely different. All right, so what they've set up right now for you might be completely different than what you want to actually utilize at the end of the day. All right, so you can go through and you can tweak this any way you want to. All right, so completely up to you guys. All right, you can also do that with custom tags on here. So your tags are basically going to be your groups, all right? Or if you've ever utilized other platforms, they call them labels before, they've called them categories. There are even buckets over inside Contactually, I believe. All right, so at the end of the day, these are going to be your groups, really. All right, so utilize this to really go through and organize everything, because that's going to help out tremendously. All right, so you can add inside any custom tags you want to. You can also view your neighborhood snaps on here too, whether it's your neighborhoods, your landing pages, or your team data. All right, and then you can even view your import logs on here as well. All right, all the different imports that you may have done previously, so you can actually see what has been imported, and then you can actually see what has been skipped in case anything was skipped for, an issue on there, basically. All right, now the biggest thing that I really want to show you on here, and I just went through all those just to kind of give an overview as to what we're looking at, is this marketing profile. So I'm going to click on this real quick. All right, your marketing profile. Because at the end of the day, your marketing profile on here is going to help out tremendously with all of your marketing pieces, whether it's going to be landing pages, neighborhood URLs, whether it's going to be sketch house. All right, there's a bunch of different items that'll feature from this marketing profile section. All right, so with that being said on here, under your marketing profile, all right, all you'd have to do is just scroll down, and anything that says required on here, you will need to fill out. All right, so for instance, they do need a headshot. Now, one thing to note about the headshot and the logos on here, the optimal or recommended size is 360 by 360. Now, that basically means that it's going to be a square. All right, so at the end of the day, your headshot and logo will need to be a square. Now, most headshots are typically, vertical and they're rectangular, and then obviously most logos are rectangular, but they're horizontal. All right, so at the end of the day, please be on the lookout for that. All right, just so that'll actually update properly for you. All right, so if you need to, there are plenty of different places where you can actually resize your images, or feel free to contact us and we can actually help to resize that for you too. All right, now all you'd have to do to add this in, it's pretty simple. Just click the upload option. All right, and then it'll ask you to upload this anywhere from your, like on here, my desktop basically, or my laptop, or a tablet, whatever it might be. All right, same thing for the team logo. But then as you can see below, we can actually update our contact information, like our first and last name, our agent license number, our team name if we want to. We can add inside our designation on here, our bio as well to display, all right, our contact information. And of course, anything with a red asterisk is the only items that we'll actually need to focus on. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. So that's the only thing we'll need to focus on here. All right. And then, of course, obviously, mobile phone, office phone, you can add inside your email and website. Now, although these are not required on here, I would highly suggest adding that in just to be safe. And even though it says please enter an email address, this is actually a website. All right, then, of course, we can also put inside our market center name, whatever the market center might be, our market center address, the state on here too, city, state, and zip as well. All right, even our brokerage license number. We can put inside the DBA logo. We can put inside our legal footer on here, all right, our contact info for social media, all right, including the entire URL on here. All right, and then, of course, even your branded app URL, so that way it'll sync up for you for people to download your app. All right, now once you've actually updated this, all you have to do is click that save option at the bottom down here, all right, and that'll allow you to save this immediately. All right, so if you notice, I already had everything updated on here, so that's perfect. Since your marketing profile was successfully saved, from now, we'll make your work easier and will be helpful in auto-completion of many templates and marketing materials. All right, remember that you can edit it inside the settings anytime you want to. All right, so nothing is set in stone by any means. You can always update this. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go back to the dashboard real quick. All right, and once we're back on the dashboard, I'm just going to go down this list real quick just to kind of talk about everything we're seeing, just to give you guys a little bit of an overview. Now, once again, this class is the overview of everything. We do have classes that will actually purely go into each of them, even more in-depth to give you kind of complete in-depth overviews of it. But this is just more of here's where everything is located, here's how you can kind of utilize it a little bit. All right, so for the contact section, once again, this is basically going to be for your database. All right, so at the end of the day, I would highly suggest going through here and adding inside your contacts as soon as possible, just so you can kind of get everything up and running on here. Now, having your contacts in here will help out tremendously, specifically when it comes to the neighborhood URLs and obviously the opportunities. Those are the two really big things on there. I don't know why I doubled that up by saying two really, but at the end of the day, those are fantastic things for you to utilize. So I'd highly suggest taking advantage of it. All right, so this is what my database currently looks like, pretty barren. All right, so if I want to, I can actually go through, and if I had contacts, I could search for them. There's even a filter option to filter out contacts. And then if you notice up here, we have a lead section and a contact section. All right, so at this time, you can only bulk import contacts into the contact section. All right, and then you can actually manually add contacts into the lead section on here too. All right, but you can't bulk import contacts into leads. And one other thing to note as well at this current time, and I hope this looks like it's being updated right now too. All right, you can move contacts from the contact section to lead, but you can't move them from lead to contacts. That's something that's being worked on currently. So I just want to give you a heads up. So if you add them inside as a lead, all right, they aren't able to be moved over to contacts quite yet, but hopefully they'll be fixed up very soon. All right, now obviously there is an import option up here where you can bulk import contacts, and this will even give you the import template that you can utilize right away to import everything immediately. All right, or of course outside of that you can also click the add contact option at the top up here in order to add inside a contact immediately. All right, now to add inside a contact on here, it's pretty simple. All right, all you'll actually have to do, all right, just put inside the full name. Oh, looks like I put inside my caps lock. Sorry, I was cleaning off some. In case you're wondering why something popped up earlier, I had a little Lysol wipe cleaning off my keyboard. I don't use this laptop very often except for classes, and it was a little dirty beyond what I would like, so sorry about that. All right, so I've got my full name on here. I can put inside my email address if I want to. Perfect. All right, then we can even put inside our phone number too. All right, and there are options to add inside additional phone numbers, additional email addresses, additional legal names if you want to sync up people. All right, and then you can even put inside their preferred method of contact. So I'm going to put inside email, for instance. I can specify, are they captured? Have I connected with them? Are they qualified already? I can put inside what their lead source might be on here. So I'm going to put inside marketing, for instance. Oh, I guess it won't pop up. All right, so I'm going to put inside Google Contacts. All right, and then under system tags, I can actually choose one of the different system tag options that are available on here. I can leave it blank too. I can even put inside a custom tag on here as well. So on here, I might put inside marketing. There we go. And of course, if you put inside something on here, so test contact, all right, if that's not available, then you can actually create that custom tag as well. All right, so just to give you a heads up, that is an option. All right, you can even put inside a description about them. All right, maybe how you met them, how they became, one of your leads basically at the end of the day, or your relationship to them. You can put inside their address on here, whether it's work, home, rental, vacation. All right, there's another option down here, other. There you go. All right, you can also put inside their mailing address on here too. Now, having their mailing address or just really having their address at the end of the day is going to be very crucial, all right, because that's going to help out tremendously with all these little neighborhood URLs you'll be able to create for them. All right, so with that being said on here, I'm just going to leave that as is. Oh, no, you know what? I'll go and I'll put this inside. I think it's 424. East Central Boulevard. All right, that's number 560. Awesome. Put that in. Orlando, Florida. I don't know why I put 271. That is not correct, but there we go. Awesome. Still come up with 271. Okay, we'll see what that's for. All right. Perfect. So I'm going to scroll down real quick, and I can put inside their social media information. I can even add additional ones. I can put inside a relationship on here, and the cool part is I can actually sync this up with another contact I have inside my database. All right, I can put inside their work info, their anniversary information. Here's a test field that I actually added inside, or you can add inside another custom field on here too. But I'm just going to create this real quick just to make it a little bit simpler. All right, so now I can actually see what my contact looks like. So here's the contact. All right, now if I scroll over, hopefully this will change, so this will pop up a little bit higher. There you go. All right, so now I can see my custom tag up there of marketing. I've got the primary phone number. I've got the primary email address. And then I can see when it was updated. Now, you're more than welcome to change out these columns as well. You can customize them to be anything that you would like at the end of the day. All right, so if I click on Customize Columns, I can actually change this info on here. All right, and I can even put inside my own custom fields as well that I want to add inside. All right, so completely up to you guys on here. So here's that test field name that I had as well. All right, so that way if you want to make this look similar to your current CRM, you're definitely more than welcome to. All right, or of course on the right-hand side, I can actually click on the three dots over here and I can view where I can actually edit it. I can add an activity, I can share contact info, add notes, I can archive it, I can view the smart plans. Obviously currently that'll just be for the Kelly kind of neighborhood smart plan, or I can even move it to leads on here too. Now remember, if I move this to leads, I can't move it back to contacts quite yet. So So I'm going to click on my contact, though, just to take a look at it. So a question just came in. Are you aware when, if the transaction anniversary will be added to the contact fields? So right now, the transaction anniversary, we have not seen that quite yet, so hopefully very, very soon. The only thing that we've actually seen on there at this time is just the home anniversary that's mainly just kind of custom put inside, or basically manually put inside. So hopefully very, very soon it will be added inside, because I know they are making a bunch of tweaks on this daily. Alright, but on here we can also take a look, here's where our source came from. I specified Google Contacts on here. I can see where their last contacted or the stage they're currently in. I didn't specify anything, so we're good to go. Alright, then down here I can actually view their phone numbers, their email address, their work address, so the 271 did go away. Alright, I can see the owner on here. I can see their primary one on here for the neighborhood, because that's based off of this address over here that I put inside. Alright, so putting inside their address will help you out tremendously. Because then I could actually say, let's get a neighborhood snap URL, and I can copy this now. There you go. Come on, mouse, don't mess up on me. Alright, and if I do that, then in theory, it should pop up with that was it Southiola? Is that what it said? Yeah, Southiola on there. I'm trying to figure out where my office location is. I guess that would make sense. It is in Southiola. Alright, so I'll give this a second for this to pop up. But outside of that, you can also add inside additional neighborhoods on here too. You could add them to a smart plan, alright, or you can see the neighborhood site and smart plan Kelly guide on here too. Alright, but then we can see the social media info, their work info, important dates we might have on here. Alright, so completely up to you guys. Alright, so as you can notice, based on my address I added inside, it automatically knew, hey, this is where they're located, and ironically enough, this is right off of it where the office is located over here. So it automatically gave us this neighborhood on here to utilize. Alright, so then I can actually scroll down and I can see the total amount sold, the average sold price, how many active listings are on here, how many pending listings, alright, average days on the market, average listing price per square feet. Alright, and then I can actually see all the different, basically, properties that are for sale on here. Alright, so that's the best part about this. Alright. And of course, outside of just utilizing this to send out to that particular person, it'll have our contact info up here. There's even a section on here where they can search for properties too. Alright, so they can search for properties around the area. Alright, so if we notice there are 5 different properties on here, but they can search even further. Alright, and then there's even an About Me section that'll go over our information. So here's our designations I put inside on here. Alright, here's our office. Here's our MLS ID, our phone number, our email, how to download our app that I added in. Alright, and then even a contact form at the very bottom down here. And then, of course, all the different links, alright, for our social media platforms. Now, you're not obligated just to leave that one on here, alright, even though this is our primary one because it's synced up with the address. You can also click on the Add Neighborhood option, and I can search for different neighborhoods that I might want to display. Alright, so I would search by that. Let me search up Coytown, for instance. Alright, so I can add that in, or what I would highly suggest instead is just click on View Map on here. Alright, so I'll view the map. Here's the primary address, so I'm going to zoom in real quick. Alright, so now I can see around here, so maybe I want to add inside some of these additional ones. Alright, so completely up to you guys at the end of the day. You can add in as many as you want. Here we go. Alright, perfect. So I've added a bunch on here. And once I click the Save option, it's kind of hidden right there behind the Support and the Chat option. But once I click Save, that'll add inside all these additional neighborhoods for me. And this is all located right around our primary location. Alright, now the cool part about this is now that I actually have this set up, so I'm going to hide that real quick. If I go back to my neighborhood snap URL, alright, and I'm going to copy this, going to paste that out, and this is something I could share with Scott directly, so that way it's hyper-local for that particular contact. Alright, so each contact would have their own specific neighborhood snap URL to use. Alright, so it's not just a generic search anymore. Alright, then I can actually pull this up, and if you notice, here are all the different neighborhoods that are around this area. Alright, and they can click on any of these and it'll actually display them, and it'll display all the different information for them too. Alright, so unfortunately no information on there. Probably don't want this one linked up, that's okay. Alright, so I'll go with the Central Business District, see if there's anything on here. Alright, so then we can actually see all the information that's popping up on here to take a look at. Alright, so it's pretty nice how this will actually display for you guys. All right. So once again, you can actually do that for all of your contacts. All right. That's the best part about it. This will make it very, very simple. Now, of course, for the contacts, there's also a giant plus sign on the right-hand side where you can actually go through. You can add a calendar event, or you can even add a note, or you can add an activity for you. All right. So typically an activity that you might want to do. So your timeline on here, very similar to kind of like a transaction timeline or just kind of like a pipeline of what you might be doing for them. All right, this is going to show everything that may have changed for this particular contact. All right, and I like to think of it kind of like a Facebook or timeline where it's always showing the updates. All right, so that's basically what this is doing. And you can view the activities by today, this week, this month, or all. All right, you can also view the opportunities for that particular contact. You can view any task that you may have assigned for them too. All right, so that way you can stay up to date with the task you might need to complete. All right, or any notes that you've added in as well. All right, so the good part about this is everything is now in one location to make it simple for you. So no more having to kind of move around everywhere to find your information for that particular contact. All right, everything is just back here for you to use. All right, so that's a basic overview of the contact section. Now, once again, we do have a database management class on here that'll help out tremendously. So I'd highly suggest checking that out because it'll go even more in depth on how to utilize everything that's available. All right, right below the contacts is your task manager. All right, pretty self-explanatory. It's just going to show you different tasks that you'll need to do. Now, there's not a way to bulk add tasks. That is the biggest thing we usually get asked. Can we just like bulk import task on there? And hopefully very soon that'll be an option. All right, but in this case, we can actually go through and see any that might be past due on here. All right, so there's a monthly neighborhood check-in that we need to go through and do. All right, or of course, we can always create a new task at the top right as well. All right, so if I click on Create New Task on here, then I can actually put inside the task name. So I'll put inside, teach class on KW command. I can specify it's going to happen all day. If I take that off, it'll give me a specific time for it. I can put inside the due date that everything is due for this, the description as well. All right, so teach class and record class. All right, I can even add inside attachments on here too, or even hyperlinks that I need to set up. Now, the good part about this is you can actually assign this to a particular contact. So if this is one of your clients that you're working with, you can actually go through, create a task, and assign it to that particular contact. So that way you can stay up to date with what you need to do. And the cool part is this syncs up with your Kelly app. So that way if you go on Kelly and you look for your task for that particular contact, you'll be able to view it. All right, so that way you can actually see everything on the go. All right, so if I want to, I can sync this up with Scott since I literally have one contact on here. All right, so I'm going to search for Scott. I'm going to search for Scott and spell my name right. I'm still going to spell my name right. There we go. You move one finger over, and then everything messes up. All right, so I'm going to add that in, and I'm going to assign this contact real quick. Perfect. All right, so it's now assigned to Scott on here. So then this contact and this task is all linked up. All right, so if I create the task on here, we're all good to go. All right, so now I have a brand new task that is currently due at midnight of today. All right, now if I want to, I can always go through and I can click this little checkbox on the left-hand side over here if I want to complete it. All right, so I want to specify I've completed these. There we go. All right, and then this was the due date that it was actually due on. And of course, on the right-hand side, I can always snooze this or I can delete it altogether too if I just want to get rid of it. All right, so once I click on here, I can click Yes, Complete. All right, we're all good to go. And then we can actually view all of our completed tasks on here too. All right, so for today, for instance, I can see that my completed task was to teach the class. I'm doing that currently, so that is all completed and we're good to go on here. All right, but you can also go through and you can specify what do you need to do today? What do you need to do this week, this past week, this month, past due, all right, all time. So a bunch of different items that are available for you. All right, so it's that simple to actually go through and create a task. Now below that, you also happen to have smart plans on here. Now once again, the smart plans are coming very, very soon. All right, but on here you can actually utilize the individualized IDX site smart plan Kelly guide. Now this is where you can actually go through and set up for your contacts different kind of smart plans based on the neighborhoods. All right, so if you click on this, all right, then as you can see, this is what everything's going to look like. So we've got our branded header up here. We have our contact info, about us, along with our information. All right, we can see all the different items that are currently required on here. All right. In addition to that, we can also go through and we can view, if we want to add inside our photo. Well, my photo's already on here. I can add a bio, a license number, an email, phone number, so we can kind of get an idea as to what this will look like on here. Awesome. Then, of course, it'll even give us the option to add inside social media information. And once again, if you notice, this is auto-populating from our marketing section that we set up earlier. So I said, trust me, whenever you set this up once, you only have to set it up once and then you're done. All right, it's going to automatically populate for you. So what do you want to do? Do you want to work smarter or harder? All right, so in this case, I'd rather set it up once and let the system do its job. All right, and then, of course, you can also put inside your DBA logo and your brokerage license number. All right, now once that's completed, if you notice on here, then we need to configure the email. All right, this is what your email template will look like. All right, so sync, so here's my email template on here. All right, so my apologies. Sync your MailChimp account to make sending emails even more seamless. So you will need that MailChimp account. So remember, MailChimp.com/signup. All right, you must log into your MailChimp account and verify the @kdb.com domain on here. All right, so I'm currently utilizing Scott at ScottLeroyMarketing.com though. All right, so in this case, I'd have to utilize kdb.com domain for it instead. All right, but then once we do that, as you can see, monthly neighborhood nurture, Keller Williams is the source on here. All right, smart plans help you automate your business. Thanks to the information you provided us, you're now able to activate your smart plan. So I'm going to click next on here. All right, I'll start to push that out. So then I can actually create individualized IDX sites if I want to. So I currently have one of one associated to a neighborhood. All right, and we already did that earlier under our neighborhood section. All right, so I'll put this on here. I can even activate the individual IDX sites, and I can manage the contacts on smart plans. I'm going to click on that, so I'm going to add them in. All right, and then I'm going to complete. All right, so great job. You've updated your marketing profile. We've already did that earlier, so now I can start utilizing command on here. All right, so that'll automatically start to actually push over that new smart plan about the neighborhoods for our contacts that we set up earlier. So that's why it's very crucial to have your marketing profile set up, a MailChimp account set up and linked up with KDB Command, and then also to go through and add inside neighborhoods. All right, that's one of the biggest smart plans that you can utilize right now. Now, hopefully the other smart plans will be coming out very soon. All right, but bare minimum, this will help you out tremendously. All right, and once again, that's on the smart plan section. Now, I know I went through that extremely fast, so I apologize, but I also know it's 1:46 and we got a lot to cover. All right, so below that, we also have our referral section. All right, so for the referral section on here, all right, so for this referral section, this is going to look very, very similar to how your actual referral section on KDB Connect will look like too. So I just want to give you a heads up. All right, so first thing first, we can actually see any pending invites we might have, kind of like new connections or new friend requests. If you're thinking of LinkedIn or Facebook, you can see any new responses you may have received, any new inbound or outbound information. All right, then of course down here we can actually see even further. Here's our current, referral network. So I have a very good referral network, to say the least, of 5 people on here. All right, so with all of that being said, all right, now what we can actually do, if you want to, you can always send a referral, you can grow your network, all right, or once again, you can enter a referral to track or send it as well. So if you notice, this is going to look very similar to the referral section. All right, so very, very similar. All right, so as long as you use that referral section over on kdbconnect.com, everything is going to port over here for you. So now you'll have it in one location. All right, so once again, one of the main things about KW Command is to have everything in one location to make it simpler for you. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to see down here are the opportunities section. I know I'm going through a little bit quicker, but there's just a bunch to get through on here. So I want to make sure we at least cover and show you where everything is located and get you a glimpse into it. All right, so for the opportunities section, this is basically your pipeline at the end of the day. All right, so this is going to show you your lead to close, all right, and anywhere in between. All right, so whether you just met someone, you got their business card, to now you're showing them a home, now they put an offer on that home, now they're actually going through escrow, and now they've officially paid off, well, not paid off, but now they have a mortgage for the home, or maybe they paid it off, I don't know. All right, but now they've officially closed, I guess is what I should say. All right, so this is going to take you through the entire process. Now, the cool part is not only do you have a listing section on here and a buyer section, you also have one for leases. All right, you can view your activity on here. You can view your ratio of listings to buyers to leases, just to give you an idea as to, what you typically do. All right, and then you can actually view your closings this month as well. Now, one thing that I really like about this, not only can you track everything in each stage on here, all right, but you can completely customize this too. All right, so at the end of the day, you can actually go through and you can completely customize what's under the cultivate section. You can customize what's under the appointment section, what's under the active section. And each section is going to have segments in it. All right, so cultivate, for instance, is going to have 3 different segments. I'm going to click on cultivate real quick. All right, and just as a template, it has new contacts, so someone we just reached out to. All right, then with that new contact, we reach out to them. All right, and then we set an appointment to list their home. Now, each segment inside these sections is going to have a percentage based on the likelihood they are to close or to purchase a home. All right, and as you move them along this little pipeline, that percentage gets higher and higher. All right, so I have one currently over in the staging one as an example. All right, so as that percentage gets higher on here, then you can see your probable income. The probable income is going to take your current, income at the end of the day. All right, so in this case, I said it was a $300,000 home, and it's 3%, which is kind of the going rate. All right, so in that case, 3% of 300,000 would be 9,000. So that's the potential income that we can come out with, but our probable income, based on where they are in the pipeline, is 4,500. All right, so it's pretty nice because not only can you see, hey, if everything goes according to plan and everything closes, it works out, this is what we're going to end up with. All right, and then of course on here, where they are currently. All right, this is what we can kind of expect based on their percentage. So even though they're the active one, all right, we talked about listing their home, now there's a 50% chance that everything's going to go perfect and we're going to be able to list this and we're all good to go. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. All right, and of course you can also create an opportunity. Just click the create opportunity option up here at the top right, and then it'll ask you to put down some information on here. Now, one thing to note for the opportunity section on here, all right, you will more than likely want to have your contact in the contact section first. And by more than likely, I mean you'll want to have them in the contact section first. All right, that's going to help out tremendously. All right, so outside of opportunities, then you also have to have your lead accelerator. Now, on the lead accelerator, you have 2 facets. You have the paid version and you have the free version. Now, the paid version is no different than actually going over to Google AdWords, going over to Facebook ads, going over to, Twitter ads, anything like that, and actually paying for advertisements. This is just going to make it a little bit simpler for you guys instead of having to go through the entire process. All right, so on here, for instance, I can actually see I had a couple tests that were set up on here. I guess I set up a test way in the future because it's not May yet. All right, but on here, I can actually see if I want to create a brand new campaign. Now, this is where we can actually create those different campaigns that we want to send out. So if you've ever been on Facebook, for instance, and you happen to see those posts that say sponsored, all right, or on your news feed, all right, on the far right-hand side, you happen to see, the little sponsored post as well. All right, this is where it's actually coming from. All right, so you can actually click Create New Campaign on here. All right, and then we can specify what type of ad channel we want to utilize. All right, so I'm linked up with Facebook, so I'd want to utilize Facebook, and then I could even utilize Instagram too, because Instagram is synced with Facebook. All right, so for those that don't know, Facebook owns Instagram. All right, but then as you can see, we have Twitter ads, we have Google AdWords, you even have real mailers for print mail-out options if you want to do that too. All right, obviously you can put inside the marketing campaign name. You can specify, the schedule that you want to send out. Basically the distance between when you first start it to when it ends. All right, and then of course you can also specify your budget on here and it'll automatically divide it just to make it even over those, in this case, 10 days. Now on Facebook, just to give you a heads up, the minimal amount that you can use per day is $1. All right, so you can't use anything less than $1. So I just want to give you a heads up on that. All right. And then, of course, down here, it'll even give you the option where you can go through and specify what your goals are, so that way this can help you out even further. Whether you're looking to attract listings, advertise them, attract talent, brand awareness, event awareness, all right, anything you might be looking for. All right. Now over on the right hand side, then we can also see some statistics on our ads that are going out. So we can see the total budget we're spending, how much we've actually spent, how many impressions have been sent out. So basically an impression is how many times your ad has been seen by someone. Whether it's been seen by that same person 3 times or by 3 different people, it'll still count as 3. Alright, then you can see how many people have actually clicked on your ad. Right, whether you want them to click on your ad to go over to your website, to go over to a particular landing page, whatever it might be. You can see your CPM, which stands for cost per milli. All right, this is the cost that you're actually paying per 1,000 views. All right, so that's where the milli part comes into it. All right, so the cost per 1,000 views of your ad. Or you can see your CPC, which stands for cost per click. All right, so how much you're paying for someone to actually click on your ad to go over and hopefully do what you're looking for them to do. All right, so at the end of the day, then we can also view the payment profile on here. You will need to set up, obviously, a credit card in order for this to activate. You can see your post scheduling or even your past post on here too, if you want to set up posts to automatically post out as well. All right, so if I click on post scheduling, for instance, this is the free portion of the lead accelerator. So very similar to utilizing Hootsuite, utilizing Buffer, utilizing Facebook, and just scheduling out the post. All right, this is another avenue where you can actually post out on here. All right, so if you notice, you can actually see your connected profiles, and currently it's just Facebook and Twitter, so hopefully very soon it'll be a couple more. All right, but you can actually click on the schedule a post option if you have this synced up. All right, where you can then go through and actually, well, tweet. All right, you can send out whatever post you want to on Twitter in this case. Or if I'm on Facebook, I can actually send out whatever I want to on Facebook. Now, the biggest question that's always come in this case is, can we add this over to multiple platforms? Can we add this over to multiple pages, for instance? And the answer is unfortunately no, not at this time. All right, so it's only one that you can actually add it over to. So I just want to give you a heads up on that. All right, so if you are working off of multiple different platforms, all right, in this case, you're not able to. All right, so you can only post it over to one page, for instance. All right, but then you can also view any of your past posts as well, so that way you can actually see this on here too. So here's one from my class a couple weeks back. All right, now there is a reporting section on here as well. All right, so for the reporting section on here, you can actually see your total amount of contacts. I just deleted a bunch, so they're not available on there. You can see how many leads or contacts you have on here. Your database health score. All right, this is a combination of all of these. So we can actually see how many have phone numbers, how many have emails, how many have addresses on here, how many have neighborhoods, home anniversaries, and birthdays. All right, so the more that you have on here, these 6, the higher your database score is. All right, then you can actually view your different sources, how they actually became contacts. You can see your database activity score over here. All right, percentage reached out to in the last 30 days, percentage reached out to in the last 30 to 60 days, or the last 90 days. All right, then of course we can also see right down here over this month, all right, total amount of contacts added, total new contacts, total buyer opportunities, listing opportunities, new listing opportunities. All right, we can see the buyer opportunity report, the listing opportunity report. Very soon we'll be able to see our GCI back here. All right, and then in addition to that, we can also view all the new contacts on here too. All right, so a bunch of different options that'll automatically feed over for us. Now, in addition to that, you also have your email campaign section. So I'm going to try something out real quick. All right, because in this case, the last time I tried this, it did not pull up. All right, but you have your campaign section. All right, and in order to create a campaign on here, they do not have any templates that you can actually pull from, like a 33 touch, an 8x8, or 12 direct. All right, but in this case, you can utilize any of the additional templates that are available over inside Sketchhouse. Now, outside of that, you can also view your list on here. Now, your lists are going to be any of the additional lists that you have on MailChimp. So I just want to give you a heads up. These are going to be all of your MailChimp contacts that you can actually pull from. All right, but if I click on Create Campaign, for instance, I can put inside the campaign name I want to use. I can choose the list, and this is a glitch going on for certain individuals. All right, and then I'd be able to search the templates as well. So if you notice on here, unfortunately, I'm not able to pull over my MailChimp list like I saw. So if you're running into that same issue, that is a known glitch. So hopefully that'll be updated very, very soon so you guys can start to utilize the email campaigns immediately. All right, so I'll skip over that just because of that issue right now. But then right below email campaigns, you have Sketchhouse. All right, so Sketchhouse is where you can actually go through. Oh, let me refresh this. All right, Sketchhouse is where you can actually go through and view all the different templates that you might want to utilize. Hopefully it'll start to pop up real quick. Maybe they're doing an update on here. All right, it looks like it's not coming up. Well, this is where you can actually utilize all the different templates you may want to use. Now, there are typically about 32 different templates that KW has come out with that are completely free for you to utilize, and obviously it's just going to give you an idea as to what you might want to go through and update and tweak. All right, and then your information for the marketing profile section will automatically pull over too. All right, so hopefully this will pop up on here where it'll automatically display. So I apologize. Let me see if I might be able to click over real quick. Come on. All right, there we go. All right, somehow I was able to finagle that. So as you can see, then we have the KW Sketch Library where we can view all of their sketches that are currently available, and there should be about 33 on here. All right, so I'm going to show a couple more on here just to get an idea. And then we can see the different options on here. All right, here's the new lead signature red template. All right, here's the coming soon signature red option. Here's the Market Snap default template. All right, then we can even view our templates on here too. And this is where we can actually save the templates so we can tweak them even further. All right, so let me try this one more time to finagle this. Here we go. All right, so if I want to use, let's say for instance, I'm just going to use the Market Snap default template to be safe. All right, so if I use this for instance, and this is going to be an idea as to what our template's going to look like. All right, so this is just kind of a little bit of, a preview basically. It's not the exact information because if you notice on here it says like Katie Bauer 512455, and here's, the Bauer group and whatnot. All right, this is just going to be a preview with just kind of some standard information on there, template info basically. All right, but once we are ready to go with this, then, oh, did not mean to go to full screen. Sorry about that. Once we are ready to go with this, we can actually click on this option if we want to import our own template. We can export the HTML if we actually want to put this HTML on another platform. All right, or of course we can actually click copy to my sketches on here. All right, so once we do that on here, then we can actually copy this. Oh, and I already have the template on there, so unfortunately it's not going to allow me to do it, and that template section is down right now, so I apologize. All right, but then if you did want to update anything, everything is customizable. You can literally click on it. We can actually move this if we want to. All right, in addition to that, if we want to go through, we can delete it too. All right, so if I click back on it, I can actually delete as well. So on here, for instance, I can move this up. I can duplicate it. I can delete it. All right, a bunch of different options. Or I can choose the layout of it too. I can choose the content that I might want to display. All right, or different widgets that I might want to display on here as well. All right, typically widgets for different landing page or email options on here. All right, so it's pretty cool. You can actually pull up all these different items for you. All right, and hopefully this will get back to where it'll actually function so then we can see everything, so I apologize about that. All right, now one final thing on here, we also happen to have the listing section. Listing section is the KWLS 2.0. All right, so under the KWLS 2.0 section on here, this is where you can actually view a sneak peek of your new KWLS. All right, so if I click on this, then it would show all the listings that we currently have available. So obviously, as a tech person, I don't have any listings on here. All right, but all of your listings should pull over for you to check out. All right, or of course, you can always search for listings as well on the KWLS 2. All right, so in this case, under the listing search section, then I can actually go through and I can view based on the different areas on here if I want to take a look at that. So I'm going to look under Coy Town on here, for instance, because this is the location that I'm actually from. All right, so then I can get an idea as to what is currently available on here. All right, so I can literally click on anything. So if I click on this Mark Street one, for instance. Okay, let me log back in real quick. Here we go. Awesome. Hopefully it'll pull back up. Alright. Let's go back real quick. Did I say this was still in beta? Alright, I just want to make sure you guys know about that. Alright, so if there are certain things that are messing up on here, this just literally launched live about 2 weeks ago. Alright, for all agents to utilize. And now it's kicking me out completely. Alright, so let's see if I can get in under another agent's account. I'll need to double check that and refresh it. Alright, so at least under here, under her account, she should have an active listing that you can see on here. So there's an active and a pending one. All right, and the cool part is that I can actually click on this to view that particular listing, and I can actually take a look at everything on here too. All right, so it's pretty nice. I'm able to actually go through and update and tweak this even further. All right, but then I can also click on listing search on here too. All right, and I can view all different listings that are currently inside my area that I may want to take a look at. All right, so fingers crossed we're going to try this again. All right, looks like it might work this time. There we go. And it kicked us out again. All right. Never mind, we tried. All right. Well, that was actually one of the last things I wanted to show you on here outside of the inside. So once again, this is in beta, so if it is doing stuff like that, just a heads up, you know, that does typically happen whenever it's actually being created on the same time. All right, so the final thing I did want to show you guys is the local insights section. So very similar to what you guys have actually had previously over on Kelly, this is where you can add inside different insights, or basically different locations. Now this is going to help out tremendously on the brand new KW app that's coming out this quarter, but it's also going to help out on your neighborhood Snap landing pages, because you can actually specify, I know it was a hot second on there that you saw it earlier, but there's actually a section on it where you can specify, hey, this is my landing page, and also these are the different items that I want to utilize on here. All right, so these are the different featured areas or featured insights I want to display. All right, so you can actually go through, you can create an insight as well. All right, it looks like it's starting to slowly freak out on me. I can put inside the location of it, I can put inside the name of the insight, the category on here, the details, I can add inside an image, and I can specify if it's a place or an area. So nothing too crazy to add inside, just to give you a heads up. All right, but on here, for instance, I can actually see, oh, there's the Mills 50 Main Street on here. There's the Colonial North neighborhood, Colonial South. All right, we've got Audubon Park neighborhood. All right, so it's pretty nice. So once we actually click on it, it should, in theory, pop up over here, and you can actually see information on it as well. So very similar to Yelp, very similar to Google Maps. This will be, you know, almost identical to it. Or I guess Foursquare. I don't know anyone that uses Foursquare anymore, but very similar to that as well. All right, so this will help out tremendously when trying to look around the area. All right, so that is going to be it for our KW Command overview class right now, just to give you a very brief overview of everything that's available for you and how you can actually play around with it. So at the end of the day, the biggest thing I always suggest is really going through and playing around with everything possible. That's going to be the best thing that you can do at the end of the day. All right, so at the end of the day, if you can just go through, start to mess around with the contacts, mess around with the neighborhoods, mess around with the insights. All right, play around and add some people over to your referral network. All right, the more that you get used to this, the easier it becomes, because it's all muscle memory at the end of the day. All right, now once again, this class does happen every 2 weeks, so I'd highly suggest checking out the class 2 weeks from now, because a good amount of items may change between now and then, as KWRI is constantly updating items. All right, 2 weeks ago, we couldn't even reference the KWLS on my account because it was only available for a select amount of people. All right, now it's available for everyone. All right, so just be on the lookout for that. So hopefully you guys got a little bit of a better understanding of the KW Command platform, how you can utilize some of the tools even further. All right, and I look forward to seeing you guys at our next training class.